What's good, y'all? It's the girl Purpose, and I'm here with a story time today. Hey, I'm feeling glad to talk to you about a story time about the time I encountered a witch. Yeah, not gonna cap. Crazy moment. This is definitely for testimonial purposes only. You feel me? um we gotta expose this kingdom of darkness, and a lot of folks not really speaking on these things, and I feel like, why not? Lord put it on my heart to speak about this testimony and this stuff that's real, that's really going on, and I don't feel like a lot of people are speaking on these things. But I'm gonna get right to it. It was a regular day, you know what I'm saying? I'm basically, at this time, I'm still in the world, smoking, drinking a little bit here and there, because I wasn't no drinker, but I drink a little something here and there. And at this time, I met up with a friend of mine who wanted to smoke. So I was like, I bet, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? So this day was like a regular day, bro. You got all the stuff that, supplies we needed to smoke. Broke it down in the car because we were hot boxing. Um, so we had did that. I think the first time we did it, it was kind of cool, mellow. We played Uno, whatever, played a little game, and we chilled. Went home. I came back and she was like, "You trying to smoke?" No, woo woo woo. I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." She always fired me up, so I'm like, "Shoot, not gonna say no." You know, at the time I'm like, free. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. And this time I was like, you know what? I'm gonna bring a little something too. So I brought me some, a little something of the you know what, and we smoked. And this is where things took a turn, man. Things took a turn, and it kind of threw me off. But um, we was smoking and we was talking. We listened to a lot of music. Uh, Music at that time, like I was in the world, but I was still aware of a certain to extent. Like I know if something felt off, and at this particular moment, things didn't feel off right then and there. Like we was playing music, and she asked for the aux, so I'm like, cool, alright, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what did you like that with the music or whatever. And she got aux, played a few songs. I was like, okay, I know these. You know what I'm saying? And I'm high. Like we probably like 3, 4 blunts in. No, maybe 2 or 3. 2 or 3. My bad. I'm talking about 3 or 4. 2 or 3 blunts in, right? And high. So I'm feeling the music. I'm like, okay. So all of a sudden, she said, "I'm gonna play this song." She played the song. Boo 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 boo. I'm like, okay. I'm listening to it. I'm like, I'm looking at her like, this song is kind of ancient. You know what I'm saying? Kind of old. You know what I'm saying? How old are you again? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, reassuring, like, am I tripping? But I'm like, okay, to each their own. You know what I'm saying? You got the folks that like the old. I'm a 90s baby. You know what I'm saying? I mess with the 90s music, 2000 music. That's my era. You know what I'm saying? So, but this was like 80s, maybe a little bit of 75s, but I'm like, okay. So I'm listening to it, and for some reason, it's like everything around paused, and I could hear the music so in depth. It's like I was in another dimension. It was crazy because it was like I was sunken, and I was at this particular position where I could move and I could see things around me, but I was just stuck. You could say I was high as a kite. Yes, of course. But it was like I've been high before. Like I done been off of 4 blunts. I done been off 5 more. At the time I was in the world, you feel me? And this particular time I was high, I'm like, man, 2, 3 blunts ain't nothing. So why am I I'm hearing the music at a different, and it sounded so crazy. Like I can't even describe it. It sounded like we was in another trance. Listen to the song, then I was like, yo, tripping? So then I started hearing the lyrics in depth, and it was freaking me out. It was freaking me out because the lyrics were like, I don't really know how to explain it, but all I knew was I was like, God, Lord, please help me right now because I'm thinking I'm tripping and I know I'm not tripping. But in that moment, I'm like, nah, I'm just high. Like my flesh was like, nah, you just high. Or like saying something else is going on. So I'm just like trying to play it cool, I'm vibing. I'm like, who sing this song? You know what I'm saying? I'm asking questions. I'm like, who sing this song? So she pull up the person that sing the song. I'm like, this nigga old as heck. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Dust Mite. I'm like, oh, okay, okay. So I'm kind of like brushing off. 'Cause I don't want to make it feel uncomfortable. Like I'm just picking at her selection of song. But this was like, in my mind, I'm like, I know this something spiritual. Like I know off rip. I'm like, I know I'm high, but this don't feel right. So then I'm listening to the music. She playing all these songs, and she plays like 3 of them like back to back, and they all saying some deep stuff. And I'm like, bro, this is depressing. So I glance over. I'm high. I'm like, you know what, bump it. I'm not even gonna think too much on the music. So we talking, chopping it up, and I look at her. She look at me, and then she does this smile, and it's not a regular smile, like you know what I'm saying. It's a smile that is not of this realm. When I say this girl smiled from ear to ear, it freaked me out. At that moment, I knew. I was like, yeah, this is not a human. You know what I'm saying? I knew in that moment that I was seeing in the spiritual realm. Like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all because I do see in the spiritual realm. Even when I was in the world, I could see stuff that certain people could not see. I'm seeing things that a regular person wouldn't just see off of, one dimensional. I'm seeing something in the spiritual. I'm like, bro, something ain't right. Man, I looked her in the face, and her face shifted, and she had this smirk on her face. But it wasn't a smirk. Like she wasn't trying to smirk. It was naturally like her when she was talking. Her face was still like this. Like it was creeping me out. If y'all ever seen the movie Smile, which I don't recommend y'all go watch it. Don't watch that movie. But if you ever seen the previews of Smile, bro, you know what I'm talking about. It was like that, but in more depth. Like it looked exactly like that, which is crazy that they make a movie about that. Probably like a few months after that happened to me. So to skim forward, when I seen that smile, I was like, yeah, I'm high. I gotta go. Like this doesn't feel right. I don't know what's up. So I was like, Lord, help me. Like in the back of my mind as I'm sitting here, yeah, I'm cool or whatever, but at the same time, like, Lord, help me, because I don't know if Shorty put something in my weed, you know what I'm saying? I'm really like thinking right now, like, all of a sudden, hey, lace my weed. Got me like looking like, what? But I ended up telling, you know what, hey, I think I'm gonna call it a night. I think I'm too high. I started rubbing my eyes. I said, I think I'm too high. And she was like, why are you trying to leave? I'm gonna roll another one. I'm like, didn't I just tell you that I'm zooted? Like, why are you trying to roll another one? Ain't you? I'm looking at it like, ain't you high? She was like, nah, I ain't even. I'm like, you got to be lying. But at this time, I didn't know. At this time, I didn't know the depths of smoking weed. Like I'm thinking it's just get you high. Yeah, I know you can see other things, other dimensions and stuff like that. Woo. You it's a psychedelic, so you see in another realm. You know what I'm saying? That ain't nothing new to me. So at the time when I was in the world, I knew that you could see some things, but I had never had that like happen. Like even when I did shrooms, which I did do shrooms, but I ain't never had that happen, so I wasn't really tripping. But this particular night, I'm like, bro, I had maybe 2 blunts, and it was 2 fat blunts, and I'm already like seeing some stuff in Shorty's face. Like her face is shifting. Like she not looking how she looked first when we first got in this car. I was rolling up. She looked normal. But when my spirit, man, and my vessel was open, I felt like God allowed me to see that spirit on her. Right? So I go home. I'm like, yo, I gotta go. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate, smoke rolling me up. I gotta go home. So on the way home, I'm riding with the windows down because I'm still hearing that song. Like, it's so crazy, bro. It's so crazy. I'm still hearing that song in the back of my mind. Like, it was one particular song that I can remember. If I hear it, I know the name of the song. I'm not gonna say it, but I know the name of the song, and uh, it was playing, and it was kind of like, it's not a bad song. Don't get me wrong, but the intentions behind that song was so like pressing, bro. I was like, man, why am I hearing this song? I was like, Lord. So I started praying as I'm on my way home. I'm high. I let down the window. I'm like, when I get high, I don't get too high to where I'm paranoid. I've never been paranoid. Like, out of all my times of smoking, I've never been paranoid. So I knew this wasn't paranoid. I knew that for a fact. I knew this was spiritual. Why? Because that demon revealed its face to me. That witch revealed her face to me. And I'm going to get down the line of more of how I found out this was a witch. So it was little things. So I can't. So after that, I kind of blew it off. Cause I'm like, maybe I was just high. So I get home. I pray to God.